So I want to know, do any of you guys think that the couples are going to stay together this season? Which ones do you feel the most confident in, or what do you think about, just how the season is progressing? Welcome to the review show for the Married at First Sight, and we're going to talk about our couples briefly, and I will tell you it has been interesting, but also somewhat lackluster in watching these couples and seeing what's happening. So we're going to dig into it. We're going to talk about a little bit about all of them. So I will start Christopher and Nicole. I do like Chris. I think Chris is trying, and I think they are doing a good job of trying to build a relationship. But I do think some of the problem they're going to have is with Nicole. And this is not a dig to her, but I do think she has a lot of past trauma, a lot of bad experiences that I think can influence their relationship. I think she possibly could self-sabotage it. I think there was a little while ago, she even made a comment about it, that she often can get in her own way or kind of make things issues and create deeper problems. So I do think that is something that could happen. I'm hoping it wouldn't, in this episode, just their level of communication. I think that there is a chance she will self-sabotage, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong, because I think they really care about each other, and I think they are one of the couples that truly can make it. When I look at Clint and Gina, I like Clint. I really do think Clint is trying, even when I, thinking about the times that her coworkers came over and they had dinner together and just the interactive exercise. I think he's trying. I do think Gina has checked out a little bit, which might be part of the problem. I think maybe they couldn't recover from the honeymoon and some of the things, kind of turned her off, because she said something when she was with the ladies about, attraction and, intimacy. So I do wonder maybe that she's just turned off by it. That maybe she's going through the motions and she's kind of interested in getting to know him, but in reality, it might be a lost cause. It might be something that nothing really is going to come from. And I think Clint is legit trying his best. So I hope Gina's walls come down a little bit and they're able to at least give it a full shot to really see what it could become. But it's not looking good, if we're going to be honest. It's not looking good at all. So we'll see. Like I said, we're just going to keep an eye on it and see what's going on. But I do enjoy watching them get along. Like, they seem like they're good friends. Like, they seem like they're working on a friendship. I don't think Gina's interested in anything further than that. The two that I really wanted to kind of get into, the first one is Shaq and Kirsten. And I feel like every time I watch them take two steps forward, they take two steps back. And I'm not saying that to say that Shaq is perfect. Everybody has their issues. But I do think it's just hard to figure out Kirsten. Like, even with the house thing, when you watch the clip, she clearly says you need to buy me a house. And then it becomes, well, for us to do it together, which is cool. But from what I saw, now maybe they had some private conversations, but from what I saw, I also got the premise that you just expected him to buy a house with his income. Which is, if that's what you expect, that's cool. But just know it might not be the house you really, really want. Like, on the level of what you're used to seeing, if it's only based on his income. But still, that's fair if that's how you feel. But then I watched the after show, and it's like her opinion's completely different. That, he's taking it out of context, and they're meant to do this together and things of that sort. Never would have got that premise. Never. Even watching the last one about the traveling thing, and he wanted her to go with him. I don't know. I think that might be up for interpretation, but based on what he said, that he was under the premise they were going, based on the conversation they had, and then when he was getting ready to go, she had plans. I think that's fair that he didn't want to interrupt her plans and make it a thing. You know what I mean? And she's like, well, why didn't you tell me? But he probably previously told you, like he said, it was a conversation. So in my opinion, I just my honest opinion of Kirsten is that she has her walls up still a little bit. I think she wants to go all in. I think she wants to give it her all. But there is a part of her that's still, I don't know if it's just defensive from past hurts. There's a part of her that just, I think, is afraid to go all in. And if they don't make it, I think it'll be to the detriment, or it'll be to the reason that she didn't go all in. The issue with her father, I think, is a fair one. Um, hmm. I can understand that he wants to meet her dad. I don't even think that's weird. Um, her standpoint of saying she's tried to make this happen and she's tried to make arrangements, she's tried to go through planning. Okay, interesting, but okay. Um, so for her to be like, well, I didn't realize it was such an issue. I think he was trying to give you a pass, and that's what I'll say. I think he was trying not to make it as much of a thing. He's expressed to you that he wanted to meet your father, and family is important to him. From what we've seen, that's what he's expressed. But I will say, if he knew you were making a conscious effort to have them meet, I think he was just trying not to push the issue because he knew you were trying. And even if you watch the interaction when he's talking to Jasmine, I think it's something that he kind of, a conclusion that he was really thinking through while he was talking to her. Looking at, just this week and next week is, or last week, it's kind of like a back and forth. It's always an interesting thing where it's like, I want to give Kirsten credit, and then something happens, and I'm like, but you don't really see it, you know? So I think they're going to be very interesting because I think Shaq might explode, and not like in a toxic way, but I think he's starting to let her know how he feel. Things being on her terms, the back and forth. He's slowly telling her how he feels and making it clear how he feels. So I think if she doesn't, I think, become more vulnerable and just communicate a bit more about certain things, he's going to be honest. And I honestly don't think they'll make it because of, I think it's just draining to be with her. Not in a bad way, but because she's so defensive and doing things on her terms in the back and forth. I think it's just very draining to deal with. So I hope they do make it. I'm rooting for them. I'm cheering for them. So we'll see what happens. Airris and Jasmine, I don't have much hope in. I feel sorry for Jasmine. The last episode, we had to witness Jasmine crying because of the situation. So it's very just disheartening because you could tell she wants his marriage. You could tell she wants to make it work. You could tell she wants to build something. But I also think she notices the writing on the wall that this guy just does not like her. Um, and I think it hurts her. And I guess I'll give Airris a little credit. I do think he's trying in some way to be vulnerable and to build on it. But I think Jasmine's just tired. I honestly think she's burnt out and tired. That even when you can see he's trying to make attempts to communicate better and to have better dialogue, she just looks like she's so over it. Like, it's just like, yo, this again? Like, and I saw the preview for next week with the dance lesson, and she just looks like, yo, I can't catch a break. Like, my guy, like, what are you doing? So I feel sorry for her. It's just been a rough path for her, and I think it's just been an interesting season. Like, it's been good, but not much has been going on. Not much at all. And I agree with some of the comments I've been seeing online that they've been focusing a lot on the interaction between the couples, and we don't see as much of the actual couples, which is a good point, and it's interesting that that's happening. So they have to do something. They gotta change something up. I don't know if it's better city, being more patient with your pairings, but they need to do something different, and I hope that they take the initiative to do something different. But I am looking forward to next week. I want them to just reveal this whole, you know, sliding into Gina's DMs already. It's on every clip of every episode. If we get to the episode and it's not a big deal at all, you wasted my time, Lifetime, and I'm gonna be highly upset that you wasted my time. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully, just hopefully, we'll get to see some growth with the couples. That maybe we'll see some turnarounds, some that might stay together. But I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for your support. I promise we'll have these more consistent. Life got a little busy and got away from me, but we are going to try our best to keep things up. Please continue to support. Please continue to watch and tune in. Thank you again, and have a great day.